Come close, closer, even closer, and see the clear advantage of Rise Super Gel over foam. Super Gel moisturizes better because it softens faster. A clear advantage. To get the moisturizers in this much Super Gel, you need all this foam. For a clear advantage, Super Gel lubricates better, softens faster. For a super smooth shave, no foam can beat. So come close, closer, even closer. Get the clear advantage of Rise Super Gel.
I'm looking for jeans that really fit.
Try Lee.
You bet I will. Fit like a glove.
Mike, all you have to do is look for the patch.
Lee Jeans, the brand that fits.
Good luck, son. Make us proud.
Forward! Bye, Mom, all right!
This year, 2 million families will send their kids off to college. But many of these kids won't be able to compete because they lack computer skills. A home computer can help. The Commodore 64 gives you more computer for less money than anyone else. Instead of saving for your kid's education, maybe you should spend a little for it.
Hi, I'm Charlie Choo Choo Justice, captain of the 1950 Cotton Bowl team at North Carolina. According to the ACC coaches, here's how their conference shapes up this season. North Carolina, number 1, my old alma mater. Maryland, number 2, and I would reverse that. Clemson, number 3, even though on probation, they'll be strong. Duke, number 4, with Bennett, they'll be strong. Georgia Tech, number 5, North Carolina State, number 6, Wake Forest, number 7, and Virginia, number 8. But Virginia is stronger than number 8.
The shape of college football has changed through the years. Right now, nowhere is this more evident than in the Atlantic Coast Conference, where innovative coaches have brought a new and exciting style of play into the region. As Pat Hayden reports, in the ACC, it all adds up to one word.
Respect. That's an important word in college football. Respect. Clemson University earned it in 1981 when they won a national championship. They've gone 21-1-1 the past 2 seasons. Respect. Ask Arkansas or Texas about the respect that they have for Carolina. They lost the last 2 years in bowl games to Carolina. Respect. University of Maryland, a team that scored over 30 points against national champion Penn State and lost 3 other games by a total of 5 points. 1983 should offer even more respect for the ACC. Although North Carolina loses All-American Kelvin Bryant, Dick Crum's Tar Heels reload with a combo of Ethan Horton and Tyrone Anthony at tailback. Horton, a 6'4", 220-pound junior, gives them strong inside running, while Anthony, a 6'1", 203-pound senior, gives them outside speed they'll need to contend. But Carolina will once again rely on its tradition of producing brilliant defensive teams. This year, the banner of the defensive team will be carried by All-American William Fuller.
It's, a tradition that started a long time ago, ever since Coach Crum got here. And, every year we look at the stats. We don't, put a lot of emphasis on it, but, we talk about things like that. And, we want to keep the tradition going that now that we do have it, and it will be known nationally.
A year ago, not many people had heard of Bobby Ross's Terrapins. They gained the nation's respect with wins over teams like Miami and North Carolina, where returning running back Willie Joyner rushed for over 200 of his 1,000 yards. There were a number of other players who earned the nation's respect last year in the ACC. Georgia Tech's Robert Levette returns after turning the corner for 1,200 yards last season. He has gained the respect of Coach Bill Curry and will lead the Rambling Wreck as they compete for the first time for the ACC crown. Perhaps the most underrated player in the ACC was Wake Forest quarterback Gary Schofield. He returns to help Coach Al Groh's team compete with anybody.
2 years ago, the only way we were going to win was if I had a good game. And now there's a lot of other people that are stepping to the front on our team, so that's a big help.
Respect. The ACC has earned it. But perhaps more importantly, the ACC symbolizes the dramatic changes that have gone on in college football the past few years. In the 1960s, we saw the dominance of power football. Teams like Nebraska, Southern Cal, Ohio State, Michigan ran the football to win. In the 1970s, we saw the finesse teams, the wishbone, the triple option, the veer. Teams like Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama put on dazzling rushing displays. In the 1980s, we've seen the emergence of the dominant throwing quarterback. It's been since 1961 since the ACC produced its last All-American quarterback. But this year, the conference produces two outstanding young men. From Duke University, Ben Bennett, the 6'2 senior, has thrown for over 6,000 yards and has an opportunity to become the NCAA's all-time passing leader. And Boomer Esiason from the University of Maryland, the 6'4 southpaw, threw for 20 touchdowns last year and led his team to victories over North Carolina and Miami. You two are the outstanding quarterbacks in the country this upcoming season. Ben, I'm curious about your thoughts on why the passing game is such a dominant force now.
Well, Pat, I think the passing game has become the great equalizer in college football. It allows some of the smaller schools that can't recruit the great size and speed every year to go out and recruit a strong-arm quarterback and get a couple of fleet receivers, and they can score at any time. They may not be the most consistent offense, but it allows them to stay in the game, whereas before they would just be overpowered.
Boomer?
Well, I think the pro influence on the college game has really increased. I think by watching pro games on Sundays, you can see that the short passing game is really picked up, and that has come down to the college level now because a lot of college coaches are going into pro camps, and they're using the short game for ball control reasons. And I think now, and even further on down the line, it's going to increase.
Ben, Duke University has a unique passing attack. Perhaps you can tell us what your general philosophy is.
Well, I think our philosophy is about the same as everybody in the country. We try and throw the ball where the defense isn't. We try to throw into the seams, and at Duke we use a great deal of play action. We like to fake draw plays and possibly freeze the middle linebackers, whereas they won't get into their drops as quickly. Therefore, we try to throw behind them where they normally would be to our receivers.
Boomer, on the other hand, Maryland has a much different approach in their passing attack.
Well, what we try to do, Pat, is strive for balance, and we use our running game to open our passing game. And the biggest thing that we do that a lot of other schools don't do is use a sprint out. And what I do on a sprint out is give a hand fake to the tailback, which freezes the linebackers, to bring the linebackers up into the line, and then we'll drag the tight end behind the linebackers, the vacancy that they've left, and we'll have our wide receiver clear out so the tight end doesn't have anybody in front of him. And also, it gives me the mobility to either run the ball or throw the ball.
Okay, fellas. Boomer, who has your pick for the 1983 All-American quarterback
spot?
Well,
I'll tell you, there's a lot of great quarterbacks around the country, Pat, but bar none, Ben has to be the greatest. I think he's fantastic. He's just my idol.
Ben, who's got your vote?
Well, you know who my vote goes to. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the ACC, but Boomer stands head and shoulders above them all.
That's just because I'm taller than all of them.
His physical abilities are unsurpassed in the conference as well as in the nation.
Gary, I can't believe this. Duke, Maryland, when I played college football, we handed off to the tailback and won the All-American honors. College football really has changed.
It is changing. And when we return, we'll reflect back on the end of an era.
And to those I left behind, I wanted you to know.
When you're working on your American dream, you want it to last forever.
Anderson Windows have helped build American dreams for over 75 years with innovation, energy efficiency, and pride. At Anderson, there are no seconds.
We take the time to build the best. That's what we've always been. Come home to quality. Come home to Anderson.
Back in 1979, I did a commercial that showed my crew repairing this street here in Oklahoma City. We used a fabric underliner developed by Phillips Petroleum that helped streets last longer. And did it work? Absolutely. This street hasn't needed a single repair since then. It's nice to know you can fix something and have it stay fixed, especially when it saves you tax dollars, year after year.
Fine products for you and your car from Phillips Petroleum, the performance company.
Richie